Okay guys, out here on our first run of the Pro Football Hall of Fame half marathon race series, or what I should call the Pro Football Hall of Fame race series. We're training for the half marathon in Canton, Ohio, which is Sunday, August 25th. We'll see how it goes. Today's June 3rd, by the way. So we've kind of been an on again, off again runner throughout the course of our adulthood. Ran the Pittsburgh Marathon last year, squeaked in just under 5 hours. Ran a little bit in our late 20s before I had kids. It's tough when you work and you have kids, and a lot of after school activities to manage the running workload. So what can you do? Hopefully this will be the first of several vlogs that I'll commit to this journey. So hope you join in. So just past 1 mile, 10:45. Trying to get our slow pace back down closer to 10 minutes. Ran 1,100 miles last year. So far this year, well behind that pace. Kind of lost the motivation, so trying to get it back. Trying to start this vlog as a way to keep myself accountable, since I've lost some motivation this year. So half marathon, I've done I think 4, maybe 5 over the course of my running career, if you want to call it that. I feel like it's a challenge, but yet something that doesn't take as much time to train for, like a marathon. So we'll see how it goes. I'll put my Strava down in the description. So if you're on that, give me a follow. We can share in each other's journeys and give each other's kudos. We reached the halfway point in just under 16 minutes, heading back. And the back is always more fun, downhill as opposed to uphill, so hopefully we go a little bit faster downhill, but let's keep our heart rate in check. We'll check in with you when I get the 2 miles. So you guys, just coming up on 2 miles here into our first run for this Pro Football Hall of Fame half marathon race. 10:09 on that one, so a little faster, a little bit of a downhill. 20:54 overall for 2 miles. A little bit of adrenaline running with the phone today, so haven't really been that fast more recently, so hopefully the heart rate's still in check. But yeah, let's keep it going. Okay, finished mile 3 in 10:08, 31:02 total time for 3 miles. We were a little further back from our starting point than we wanted to be, so we're still running here. I know you're not supposed to do more than the training plan dictates, but we have enough mileage under our legs that I think we can handle it. For you metric folks, we just went over 5 kilometers, around 32 minutes. So hopefully this will become a recurring series of episodes. I appreciate you if you're still here watching. Appreciate you sticking around, and I hope you'll stay with me throughout the journey. Until the next time, we'll see ya. Okay, getting ready to go out for run number 2 of the Pro Football Hall of Fame half marathon training plan. It's a hot one out there today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, feels like temperature around 90. We're gonna try to get this one done. I don't think I said before, but we are following the Hal Higdon Intermediate 2 half marathon training plan. We followed the Hal Higdon Intermediate 2 half marathon training plan last year, had a good training block, ended up not being able to run our goal race. Had a family emergency the night before in the ER, so ended up missing it. So our goal was sub 2 hours. We were probably going to be able to hit somewhere between 1 hour 50 and 1 hour 55. So our goal this time, we've lost some fitness since we haven't been as motivated to run. Looking to come in under 2 hours. Our half marathon PR is 2 hours 11 seconds from when we were like 26, 27 years old. So it's been about 12 years since that PR. So it's time to get out there and break that and prove to ourselves that we can still do it. Out here about 90 degrees, so trying to get it done before the kids get home from school. So about just over a third of a mile in. All right, so since getting back into running about 2 years ago, started wearing a Garmin Forerunner wristwatch to keep track of my runs. I have a Garmin Forerunner 735 XT. I got it because I decided I was going to try to train for a duathlon. I'm not a strong swimmer, so run, bike, run. So it served me pretty well. Mostly just use it for running these days. So big gel shoe cushion runner, running in the Asics Gel Nimbus 25s. I think these are actually the 26s. So if you're looking for a shoe with max cushion, everyday type trainer, that's the one I have. Highly recommended. Found a little pocket of shade here on the way back on our little 3-mile adventure. It is a scorcher out here today, but we're out here, we're doing it. That's what counts the most. Also, if you're new to my channel, my journey, tell me a little about yourself. How long you've been running? Months, years, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Put myself in the intermediate category, running pretty consistently for the last 2 years for the first time in my life. So, do you guys prefer wearing a watch or what, running naked, as they say? I prefer the watch. I'm a stat nerd. I like to see the different stats that it spits out when I'm done. Just finished 3 miles for our second training run of the half marathon training block that we're in. Ran a little bit slower today, deliberately. We got a little excited yesterday, running with the phone and vlogging. Ran a little bit faster than we probably should have. Heart rate was a little elevated, but also could be because we haven't been running as much as we have last year, and the fact that it's almost summer. But today, see if you can see that, 32:25.7 seconds for 3 miles. That's gonna do it for this run. Check in tomorrow. A little bit of speed work on the books, a little 5x400 meter intervals. We'll see you at the track. Welcome to the track. Here for my 5x400 meter interval workout today. Much cooler than yesterday. For all the metric folks out there who might be watching, these aren't quite 400 meters. They're a little bit further. I'm using a 1/4 mile as my interval distance. Haven't changed the watch from a few months ago when I last did this workout, so I'm sure my watch will be beeping at me, telling me I'm not going fast enough. But we're aiming for somewhere between 740 and 820 a mile for each of the 1/4 mile 400 meter intervals. I'll convert that, put it in the description, I'll put it in the video, what that converts to in terms of pace per kilometer. But I haven't done a speed workout in probably, I don't know, 3-4 months, so it's gonna be brutal. May have forgot to mention that the track we're on out here, some of the schools are still going around here. My local school district where my kids go hasn't gotten out yet, so decided to go into the local 400-meter track. We're out here at the half-mile track, so one loop around is a half mile. Okay, just finished interval number 5. That last interval was tough. Probably like 2:05, which is like an 8:20 per mile pace. Probably the slowest interval we've ever done, but that's why we're out here, trying to get back in shape. Walking the recovery, only 1 minute recoveries. Probably should have done 2. Oh well, let's get to the cool down and get out of here. In the final half mile to cool down. Man, am I tired. Whew, I haven't done that in a while. That was rough. So for those of you who care, interval 1, the fastest, probably like 1:56, which is like 7:44 a mile. Interval 2, about 1:58, which is about 7:52 per mile. Interval 3, about 2:01, which I think is like 8:04 per mile. Interval 4, back to 1:58, so 7:52. And then that last interval at 2:05 or so, like 8:20 per mile. Just finishing the cool down here. That's gonna do it for this workout. We'll see you on the next one. Out here for a recovery run after yesterday's 5x400 meter interval workout. Kind of trying to take this one slow on purpose. Off day scheduled for tomorrow. I'm back at it Saturday and Sunday. A little 3-miler scheduled for Saturday, and then a little 5-mile long run scheduled for Sunday. Having run a few of these half marathons and even the Pittsburgh Marathon in 2023, 5 miles isn't really necessarily a long run, but when you basically took a whole month off between March and April and you haven't really run that far in a while, it feels long. So we'll see how it goes this weekend. So lunchtime here. What do you guys normally prefer? Are you a morning runner, evening runner, lunchtime runner like myself? I try to get the shorter distances done where I can during my lunch break, so I can be home when the kids get home, especially in the summertime when they're home pretty much all day. Not much of a morning person, so definitely probably should become a morning person, morning runner. I've been known to take the moonlight stroll at the local park in the summer, but yeah, let me know what you guys prefer down in the comments. Just finished our recovery run, 32:27. First mile 10:56, second mile 10:56, last mile I think like 10:37, 10:35 maybe. It's downhill, so keep the same cadence, just goes faster because you're going downhill. So I've been kind of thinking about what to call this series other than like half marathon training, Pro Football Hall of Fame. So given we've never broken 2 hours in the half marathon, even though we were definitely going to break in the last fall before that race that we missed, so I think we're going to call it Breaking 2. Tomorrow's an off day, like I said, so we'll see you on Saturday. Wow, by the time I post this, Saturday will be come and gone, but you get what I'm saying. See ya. Welcome to the weekend, everybody. How we doing? It's like that famous song. Everybody's working for the weekend. Out here for a little 3-mile jaunt. Nice and cool. We actually got out for a morning run. Let's go. Full disclosure, haven't really slept well the last couple of nights. Thursday night binge watched a Netflix show till way too late in the morning. Lucky to have probably gotten 5 hours of sleep. Last night, getting older, severe back pain. Took like 4 hours to fall asleep. So, hallmark of a good quality training block is quality sleep. And we failed the last couple of nights at that, so looking to improve upon that going forward. Now, if you're out there wondering why I only took one rest day this week and we're running 6 days, it's a good question because we were so amped up to start this training block that on Monday we did 3 miles when in reality we were supposed to do 30 minutes of cross training. So next week we'll probably do a better job of sticking to the plan and we'll actually do some cross training on Monday instead of actually running. Saturday run done. Best run so far of the training block. Heart rate down, average 151. I think getting back into the swing of things and the adrenaline the first couple of days, you know, our heart rate was a little elevated. Also the time of the day that we're running, you know, we ran a little bit earlier today, so it was a little bit cooler. I think that also played a part. So excited that you know, this run this morning was actually felt pretty effortless, and you know the stats seem to match that. So on to Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to the Sunday long run. I committed a big runner's sin. Forgot to charge the old watch. 8% left. Don't think it's gonna make it for the 5 miles. But we run this route a lot, so we know where the 2.5 mile mark is. So we know we're gonna get the 5 miles in. We know it's gonna be right around 5 miles, if not exact. But don't know that it'll get recorded on the old watch or reported to Strava for that matter. But we're out here doing it, so it still counts. Already got the low battery notice just after a mile in, 11:04 first mile, pacing ourselves, trying to do a nice negative split on this long run. But yeah, definitely don't think the watch is gonna make it. Oh boy, hate when that happens. In the good news department, we waited until 7 to come out and get this run in. Pretty sunny most of the afternoon. Nice light breeze, wind gust about 20 miles an hour, so as you can probably tell from the lighting, it's nice and somewhat dark for this time of the day, early evening. Yeah, perfect conditions for a run. Feeling pretty good. It's been a pretty good week so far. By the end of today's run, gonna cap out just under 21 miles. Haven't had that type of running volume in a week, probably since either January, maybe February. That's how much we'd fallen off after February. So legs are actually doing pretty good. Slight tinge of some quad muscle walking up the stairs at home, but overall nothing unbearable. So considering the lack of training that I've had for the past few months, we're doing pretty well. Let's hope that continues. Well, it's official. Watch died about 2.25 miles in. So back half of this 5 miler, no data. Man, I freaking hate that. What can you do? In other news, felt a couple spritzes of rain. I set up the tent in the backyard for the kids tonight. Didn't put the rain fly on. Really hope it doesn't rain. Fingers crossed. So, coming into the home free stretch of the run. It's uphill for about 2 miles. and then it crests downward, and we're probably up to almost, we just passed mile marker 3 a couple minutes ago, so we're probably about 3¼ miles in, and it's pretty much net downhill from here. So probably have just under 20 minutes running left before we close out this week and before we close out this run. I'm still feeling rain. Not good for a night out in the tent. The forecast was single-digit percentage of the forecast area would get rain. Well, looks to be that we might be in that single percentage area. Pretty windy out here. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain spritzes have been turned into a little windy, misty rain. Feels pretty good. In terms of the stats that I do have for this run, I did finish mile 2 in 10:48, so a 16-second negative split for mile 1, which is probably a little bit too significant of a negative split for a 5-mile long run. We just passed what would be mile 4, so we're in the final mile of this 5-mile long run. So this is gonna be the end of the first week of training for the Pro Football Hall of Fame half marathon in Canton, Ohio on August 25th. If anyone else happens to be watching this and you're signed up or you're thinking about signing up, drop a note below in the comments and let me know. It'd be kind of cool to, rally behind each other in our training for it. Or if you're trying to break 2 hours in the half marathon, drop a comment, let me know. Well, that's gonna end week 1, episode 1 of the Breaking 2 series here. If you liked anything that you saw during episode 1 here, please consider leaving a like. Maybe even drop a comment down below. And if you're really feeling it, turn on the notifications. We're planning on posting a video once a week to document the 12-week build-up to this half marathon. So I'm gonna see you on the next one. Take care.